Coming up on NewsWatch 12 at 6, a storm ripping throughout our region is leaving flooding, downed trees and power lines as well as road closures in its wake. We'll look at how some Gold Hill residents are dealing with that damage. And with the storm comes some dangerous conditions. How to keep yourself safe even during holiday celebrations is coming up.
And another storm is moving in tonight, bringing strong winds yet again and more rain. We'll go into more details coming up in our forecast.
Live, local, late breaking. This is NewsWatch 12 at 6.
A post-Christmas storm is pushing its way throughout our region, creating hundreds of power outages as well as delays in holiday travel. Right now, we're taking a live look at Talent, where the storm left trees and power lines downed. Thanks for joining us for NewsWatch 12 at 6. I'm Samantha Cadera. We're tracking some of the damage across southern Oregon and northern California from this storm. But take a look at what some residents in Gold Hill are dealing with after the storm. You can see trees have snapped and an increase of water throughout the area. We'll take a closer look at that damage as well as ways to keep yourself safe in these adverse driving conditions and chilly power outages. But first, let's check in with storm tracker meteorologist Sarah Crust to tell us a little bit more about this storm that we're seeing. And I hear another one is coming through. Yeah.
So another one coming through tonight. Now, we're expecting some strong winds as well. Not quite as strong as last night with those storms that pushed through from that squall line, but we still are expecting pretty strong gusts along the coast and areas over east of the Cascades. We have multiple advisories issued. We'll talk more about that in just a second. But taking a look out at radar, rain has already made its way through. We're seeing pretty moderate amounts as we're heading over towards the coast, snow along our passes. It's going to ramp up as we head throughout the evening and into those overnight hours. Taking a look at that area of low pressure, that's our system right now, and that's going to be bringing strong winds along as well. So as we head into this evening, we can expect to see heavy rain again as we're heading over towards the coast into Josephine County as well. We'll expect snow as we're heading over east of the Cascades. Not as much as we saw last night. Snow levels are going to be between 4,500 to 5,000 feet as we're moving throughout the night, and then we'll see that continue overnight. It'll be settling down as we head into those morning hours. Low temperatures for tonight: 43 degrees into Grants Pass, 41 to Medford, 33 over into Klamath Falls, 39 into Wairika, and heading over towards the coast, 47 into Brookings. Winds are beginning to pick up. We do have multiple wind advisories and high wind warnings issued, possibly again seeing those gusts up to 75 or 70 miles per hour in some areas. Coming up in our next forecast, we'll break down when these advisories start, how long they will be lasting, and when we'll possibly see those peak gusts. So stick around.
Sarah, thank you. And that early morning thunderstorm ripping through several parts of our region, bringing flooding and wind in its path. With trees and power lines falling, Gold Hill residents say they're dealing with that damage. NewsWatch 12 lead column shows us how.
Falls in Gold Hill absolutely going off behind me right now. You can see and hear it. We are wrapping up the year with quite a bit of activity on this stretch of the Rogue River. This comes after a thunderstorm Thursday morning in Jackson County, with the city of Gold Hill seeing these impacts.
We heard the noise, woke us up out of bed, and immediate thought is kids, grandkids, making sure everybody was safe.
Tree trunks split in two, flooding on the ground. Gold Hill getting the brunt of a thunderstorm early Thursday morning. The storm starting on the coast before making its way east into Jackson County.
42 years, nothing like it.
The Bright family taking refuge at Patty's Kitchen restaurant after a tree fell on their garage and power was cut. Grandkid Josie heard a sound on the roof that wasn't Santa's reindeer.
I didn't sleep. My eyes were awake and I was quiet.
Just thankful everybody's safe. We could replace what is broke. Thankful the fire department responded. Yes, I owe them ice cream once they figure this out.
Downed trees also caused at least one outage in nearby Rock Point and Sam's Valley. Pacific Power sent crews late Thursday morning to investigate. In Gold Hill,
we could replace what is broke.
I'm Leaf Collum.
And in Josephine County, Rural Metro Fire's water rescue team is issuing an advanced flood watch to residents in low-lying areas. Residents near active streams should also be aware of potential flooding in the coming days. If you live in a known flood zone, Rural Metro Fire recommends planning ahead for rapid egress and use sandbag placement for water diversion. This warning extends all the way until Monday. And in addition to flooding, high winds downed both trees and power lines in Cave Junction, prompting several road closures. Illinois Valley Fire District shared these pictures of just some of the damage across our region. You can see fallen trees blocking roadways and other large debris in the roadway. And the U.S. National Weather Service is warning of dangerous beach conditions in Curry, Coos, and Douglas counties today and tomorrow. The storm will bring waves of 28 to 33 feet, flooding shorelines and pushing large debris, including logs, onto the beach. Significant erosion and infrastructure damage is expected, and coastal flooding is also likely. And the high surf poses a serious risk to anyone near the water. Residents are urged to stay off the beaches, secure property, and prepare for possible flooding. And whether you're driving across town or traveling for the holiday, you can find the latest information on road closures and traffic on Trip Check. Currently, there are no major road closures, but Highway 199 was closed near the Highway 101 junction due to a fallen tree. That road has since reopened, but you can find other possible closures as well as detours on Trip Check, and we'll continue to track road closures and bring you the latest updates both on air and online. And these severe conditions are considered to be the primary factor in a weekend fatal collision that killed 4 people in Klamath County. 21-year-old Trevor McNally was declared dead at the scene of the 2-vehicle wreck on Highway 97 after he lost control and entered the oncoming lane. 3 juvenile passengers in the vehicle were also declared dead at the scene, and a 4th passenger was reported injured and transported to the hospital. The driver and the passenger of the 2nd vehicle reported minor injuries, and more details can be found on our website, kdrv.com. And with the rain we're seeing, the Siskiyou County Office of Emergency Services is warning drivers of hydroplaning risk. They say the best ways to avoid hydroplaning is to slow down when roads are wet, avoid standing water, and keep a safe following distance from other vehicles. But if you do start to hydroplane, let off the gas, don't slam on your brakes, and turn into the direction you're sliding. Another way to prevent hydroplaning and losing traction in winter conditions is checking your tires. Cold temperatures like this can reduce tire pressure and traction, and for every 10-degree drop, tire pressure drops by 1 pound per square inch, also known as PSI. Winter tires offer up to 50% more grip in snow and ice, and a quick penny test can tell if your tread is too worn. If you see Lincoln's head on the penny, it's time to replace your tires. And the Jackson County Sheriff's Office will be working to deter impaired driving on New Year's Eve. They will conduct a high-visibility DUII patrol in collaboration with Oregon State Police and local law enforcement in Medford, Eagle Point, Ashland, Phoenix, and Talent. They remind Jackson County residents that even one drink can impair a driver, and to celebrate the incoming new year responsibly.
Welcome back to In the Garden. Joining me today is Kira from Grange Co-op, and today we're talking about moss out in your lawns. So just a little bit about how some people at home may want to utilize these products.
Yeah, and this is the time of year that you're starting to see the moss in your lawns, of course. Once it starts to rain and the moisture and the humidity goes up around here, that's when you really start to see it sprout and really take hold on things. So, but nice thing, it's also one of the best times to be treating for it.
A perfect timing. What makes right now the perfect time to do that, though?
So it is actually best to try and get rid of your moss while it is actively growing, during the active growing period. So we say late fall or early spring.
Okay, and then I see you have a bunch of different products here, so I think maybe just start right here, just a little bit what you would want to do with these guys.
Yeah, so these are for the roof and walks on these two with the orange bottles. So that is going to be your cement, wood, things like that that are going to be non-living material underneath it. So that's what these guys here are for, and we have different application devices as whether you want to do liquid or if you want to do granular. It kind of varies on where you're applying it, what's easier for you, the environment around that. So, And then next we have the ones for the flower beds and lawns.
Okay.
So that one's you can use in actual flower beds. These guys are strictly for your lawn. And then this guy's the nice one because he's a plus fertilizer. I really like this guy as if you're doing a spring application because you can kind of do a 2-for-1 on that guy there. You can get this done and then you get your fertilizer out at the same time.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Kira, and thank you for watching In the Garden. If you have any other questions, you can head over to a Grange Co-op near you or head over to our website, kdrv.com.
And in an update, Mount Ashland's aerial chair that was struck by a fallen tree, which you can see on your screens right now, is officially open again. The tree took 11 hours to remove before repairs and inspections could even begin. But after the team's dedication and hard work, the chair has been repaired and is open for the rest of the 2024 to 2025 season. For more details on how the aerial chair was repaired, you can head to our website, kdrv.com. And if you can believe it, the new year is just 6 days away and several new laws will be taking effect on January 1st. In Oregon, Senate Bill 1553, also known as the law regarding drug use on public transit, introduces penalties for using drugs on public transportation. Senate Bill 1596, known as the Right to Repair law, makes it easier to repair electronics by requiring manufacturers to provide access to tools, parts, and documents. House Bill 4012, which deals with prescription drug reimbursements, prohibits health insurers from restricting which pharmacies patients can use for prescriptions. And also beginning January 1st, Pacific Power will be raising their rates. Residential customers will likely see a 9.8% hike, less than the 17.9% increase originally requested. This comes after an 11% increase earlier this year, and Pacific Power says they plan to increase discounts and offer emergency assistance to low-income customers. And if you're not sure what to do with your Christmas tree, we've got you covered. Ashland Scouts Troop 112 annual Christmas tree cycling day is January 11th, and Ashland residents can leave their undecorated tree on their curb for pickup by January 10th. And if you're not an Ashland resident, there are still several ways to use your tree. Grange Co-op says trees can be used to create bird feeders, compost, and even mulch. For more ways on how to use or recycle your tree, head to our website, kdrv.com.